God, I love that new intro song. So dope. We are back. Is it Friday? It's Friday, I think. Yeah, it's Saturday. Man, I have lost track of time. There is so much going on in the world. Oh my God. I feel bad for the people that have crypto holdings in FTX. This is a complete collapse, a complete nightmare. I've been kind of reading and catching up on this story over the last couple of days, and oh my God. And I'm actually freaking out too, because this goes back a little bit further than just what's happened over the last 48 hours with FTX. So I'm not sure if any of you all know. Let me just take you back a little bit. I'm not sure if any of you all know, but Voyager app, they went bankrupt. I think probably about just before the summer, maybe in March. I could be wrong on that. March of 22. And I had money in Voyager. I had SHIB coin through Voyager app, and I lost all of my money. I had about $5,000 on the app, and I have lost access to that money. So when Voyager went down, I think the CEO of Voyager was claiming that it was FDIC insured, and the FBI was stepping in saying, no, it wasn't. And basically what happened, from what I'm understanding, is that they were taking loans, and they basically got overextended, which caused the bankruptcy of Voyager. And I could be wrong on that. I'm not a crypto expert, but I just read a little bit. So anyway, what had happened was, I think this went into a class action lawsuit. It went through a court proceeding, and basically it went to a bidding war for a company to buy Voyager. And the agreement was the company going forward would buy like 70 or 80% of its assets. And there was a possibility, if you are on Voyager app, that you would be able to get a certain amount of money. It was a long shot possibility that once this new company took over, you may get some of your money back. So I have over the last couple of months been receiving emails and just kind of following steps of this kind of bankruptcy court and agreement, and the steps that I need to do to basically, I guess, be enrolled for this possibility to get, my money back. So the assets went to an auction, and guess who was the highest bidder that bought out the Voyager debt? It was FTX. I just got an email about 2 weeks ago to sign off on the agreement that FTX would become this new, would absorb the debt of Voyager, turn it over. You would get some type of credit on the FTX app, or you could cash out and get your cash. And, it was just to take a little while for all this to process. So I just signed off all this documentation to say, okay, yeah, I trust this. FTX is going to take over. And now what we've seen in the last 48 hours, that basically FTX lost billions of dollars. So if you're a Voyager holder and had currency on the Voyager app, you're basically back to square one. I've pretty much written off that money now. I'm never going to see that money again. Now that's what's going on, and I'm sure this is causing a lot of instability in the future of now cryptocurrency. Let me pull this up. Yesterday on CoinDesk.com. FTX has been hacked. Crypto disaster worsens as exchange sees mysterious outflows exceeding $600 million. FTX officials appear to confirm rumors of hack on Telegram instructing users to delete the FTX app and avoid its website. The collapse of XTF, already one of the most spectacular disasters in financial history, worsens as hundreds of millions of dollars were drained from the cryptocurrency exchange hours after it filed bankruptcy. More than $600 million was siphoned from FTX crypto wallets late Friday. Soon after, FTX stated an official Telegram on its official Telegram channel that had been compromised, instructing users not to install any new upgrades and to delete FTX apps. Holy shnikes. Sorry, I'm just taking a sip of water here. Quote, FTX has been hacked. FTX apps are malware. Delete them. Chat is open. Do not go on the FTX site as it might download Trojans, end quote, wrote the account administrator for FTX support Telegram chat. This message was pinned by FTX General Counselor Ryan Miller. Can you believe, could you imagine having crypto on the FTX app, and then you see this collapse slowly unfolding in front of your eye? Not even slowly. I mean, just quickly unfolding your eyes. I mean, this is gonna, I don't know what the percentage of what people own in the world of cryptocurrency, but this is going to be major losses, especially here in the US. I mean, with the way that Joe Biden's economy is going, inflation rising, people are going to lose their fucking minds. I'm sure they're in a panic. Going on, since hours later, Miller disclosed in a tweet that FTX US and FTX.com had been moving all digital assets to cold storage because of Friday's bankruptcy. Quote, process was expediting this evening to mitigate damage upon observing unauthorized transactions, he said. And here's the tweet. Following Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing, FTX US and FTX.com and initiating precaution steps to move all digital assets to cold storage. Process was expedited this evening to mitigate the damage upon observing unauthorized transactions. Many FTX wallet holders reported zero balances in their FTX.com and FTX US wallets. Oh my God. Oh my God. Real quick, let me get to this chat. Bezos has sent a super sticker for 99 cents. I do appreciate that, my friend. Chat is open, pinned to the top. If anybody wants to jump on, please join the stream. Let's talk about this crypto nightmare. Getting back to the article, FTX API appeared to be down, which could be account for this. According to the on-chain data, various Ethereum tokens, as well as Solana and Binnacle Smart Chain tokens, exited FTX official wallets and moved to decentralized exchange like one inch. Both FTX and FTX US appeared to be affected. The transaction occurred on the same day that the firm filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the US after apparently losing or misappropriating billions of dollars in user funds. And this is the same crap that happened to people on Voyager app. My money, my fucking money that was going to apparently maybe sometime in a fever dream come back. My voice sound weird? Because I can't hear it. Does it sound modulated? Because I was playing with my voice modulator earlier. I'm not sure. Ah, it is. All right. We're going to have to fix that. Hold on there. It's great. You know, you do 11 minutes of a show and your voice is modulated.
All right. Does this sound better? Am I back to normal? Man, and I was on a roll, man. Am I better? Am I better? Give me a shout out. Am I better? Am I not modulated? Can you hear me better? Give me a thumbs up. All right, I'm normal now. 11 minutes into a show and my voice is modulated. That's going to be great for the replay. Anyway, transferred to court on the same day that the firm filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, protection from the U.S. apparently losing or misappropriating billions of dollars in users' funds. Suspicions, which were conjuncture at this point, circulated online about whether, rather than an outside attack, someone inside the company might have been responsible. On Twitter, members of the cryptocurrency community quickly began to speculate that the outflows could have been coordinated by a member of Bankman-Fried's inner circle, pointing out that the stimulus and sophistication hacks of FTX and FTX US are indicative of a potential inside job. Twitter sleuth Zach XBT tweeted Friday night that he had, quote, multiple former FTX employees confirming to me that they do not recognize these transfers, end quote. Around midnight Eastern time, FTX logged portal was unavailable. Through the site is still online, giving users a 503 error, and that's the danger game. You never want to see that. And when they attempted to log in, a 503 error happens when a server is unavailable, commonly because it is down for maintenance or unavailable for access. Wow. Holy shite. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I got a couple of articles that I want to show here. Let's see. Fox News reporting FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried's net worth estimated at zero. The FTX founder saw his net worth decline by billions of dollars. Sam Bankman-Fried is founder of the crypto exchange FTX, had a net worth that all evaporated to zero after plummeting Friday following a crisis that forced the company to file for bankruptcy. Wall Street Journal reports that Bankman was worth an estimated $16 billion. Let me say that again, $16 billion on Monday, making him one of the 100 richest people in the world, citing that Bloomberg Billionaire Index, which tracks the net worth for some of the world's richest people. However, on Friday morning, FTX was valued at $1 before the bankruptcy announcement. Quote, I sincerely apologize. Bankman, a prominent Democrat donor, said in a rapid series of tweets on Thursday, he also promised to continue trying to save the company. It's not going to happen. It's gone. Goodbye. Quote, so right now we're spending a week doing everything we can to raise liquidity. I can't make any promises about that, but I'm going to try and give anything I have if that will make it work, end quote. FTX failure has gone beyond finance. The company had major sports sponsorships, and we're going to get into that. We're going to show you who was involved in FTX. The company had major sports sponsorships as well, including Formula One racing, a sponsorship deal with Major League Baseball, and as well as Sports Arena in Miami. Mercedes said it would remove FTX from its race cars starting this weekend. Well, no shite. Bankman-Fried has other problems as well. On Thursday, a person familiar with the matters said the Justice Department and Securities Exchange Commission were looking into FTX to determine whether any criminal activity or security offenses were committed. This guy's going to have some big problems. The investigation is centered on the plausibility of FTX may have used customers' deposits to fund bets at Alameda Research. In traditional markets, brokers were expected to separate client funds from other company assets. And I believe this is the same thing that happened to Voyager. Don't quote me on that, but I believe this was the same thing. Violations can be punished by regulators, financial companies. MF Global Efficiency failed for a similar practice roughly a decade ago when it emerged clients' assets to own bets. And I want to go back to this section in the article when it said major sports sponsorships. Major sports sponsorships. Basil Bezels in the house.
I just want to talk watches.
I just want to talk watches.
We can talk crypto. We can, whatever's on the table, man. It's good to be back.
Dude, this is nuts. Like crazy nuts. I mean, can you imagine the loss of money? I mean, people are in a recession in the US, right? In the investments that people probably have in crypto's not backed by anything. So once that money's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, I know you've had with your crypto investments, the application or like the site you were using was actually kind of a weird scenario, wasn't it?
This hour we are starting to get
so I lost about $5,000 on Voyager.
Shoot.
I mean, it's not gonna kill me, but it sucks.
Right. Yeah.
It's not gonna end me.
Anytime, like that's like a significant amount of money.
You're breaking up a little bit, bud.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm kind of in a weird spot, so if I'm breaking up,
I got you now.
with me. I might try to log off and back on.
Yeah, I get you now.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we'll see. If it doesn't keep up, just give me a shout.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I lost. I was
Voyager,
very transparent. I lost about $5,000 on Voyager. And the funny thing about it, and I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show when my voice was modulated, but so what happened was
when I heard it, and I thought it was a recording.
Yeah, I was messing around earlier. What I have a Stream Deck, and what I was trying to do is get my sounds, because I have like a cash register, drum roll, all those sound effects you can put in. It runs through my Stream Deck. I had it working before,
right?
And I was using an app called Voice Modulator to kind of run it through. You run it through your microphone, and then it will stream, live on air. But I can't figure it out anyway. But so anyway, what happened was the assets of Voyager went to an auction. Guess who bought it? FTX. And I just signed a whole bunch of paperwork like 2 weeks ago to say it's okay
sure.
for FTX to buy this. If anything goes wrong forward, we're not responsible, blah, blah, blah. I'm screwed. That money's gone. I'm never going to get it.
Yikes. So it's just, just gobbled up, basically.
It's gone. Yeah. It's in the ether somewhere.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So going back to investments and talking about sport investments, I wanted to pull this up. Bada bing, ba boom, boom. Tom Brady and Giselle risk at losing $650 million investment in FTX following the exchange collapse.
Wow.
So it goes.
I wonder if that was part of the reason for the breakup.
Could be. That's a pretty good observation, man. It's a very good observation.
I mean, with Tom's, continuing to play in the NFL and that, I mean, so many marriages are compromised, being, due to financial dismay. So it's I could maybe see that.
Let me read a little bit about this. Maybe we can get into the details here. So American football dynamo Tom Brady and his supermodel ex-wife Giselle find their FTX investment at risk following the exchange's implosion. According to reports, the seven-time, thank you very much, Tom Brady, here in New England. We love you. Seven-time Super Bowl champion and his former spouse previously invested a substantial but unknown amount of their funds in the currently embattled exchange. The duo made an investment likely in exchange for a sizable stake in FTX native token, FTT. However, following the recent wave of problems in the company, including the FTT collapse, Brady and Giselle, I always say her last name wrong. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Bunchin?
Yeah, Bunch. I think it's just like
Bunchin. Yeah. Risking it all. The development adds the quarterback's personal challenge this year, including coming out of retirement and braving a divorce from Bunchin. Details of Tom Brady and Giselle partnerships with FTX. In June last year, Tom Brady and his ex-wife took an equity stake in this is bad. In FTX as part of a long-term partnership. Oh, this is really bad. The stipulated terms of the deal saw Brady take on an ambassador role to the exchange, with Bunchin becoming its environmental and social investor. At the time, Brady enthused about the prospects of partnering with the FTX, saying, "It's an quote. It's an incredibly exciting time in the crypto world, and Sam is a revolutionary in the revolutionary FTX team. Continue to open my eyes to the endless possibilities. We have a chance to create something really special here, and I can't wait to see when we're able to do it all together." Holy shite.
Yikes.
And it goes on and on. FTX slippery slope. Let's see. FTX decline saw CEO Sam Bankman-Fried lose an astonishing 94% or $14.6 billion of his fortune on short order after a mass withdrawal sustained. The company head honcho recently reached out to investors for an $8 billion. Yeah, see, this is what happens. Is they overextend and they don't have the money to cover it. And this is what happened with Voyager.
Yikes.
And
yeah, it's like kind of like just like a almost like a Ponzi scheme. It's like you got the money here and then you run out and then it's you were last in line, you're holding the bag.
So
congratulations.
Let me pose this question to you. How do you feel now after you've had the collapse of Voyager? FTX now is gone. I mean, how do you feel about crypto going forward? It's basically a joke. I mean, this is not going to secure anybody. It's not going to secure their what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence.
Yeah.
In crypto going
Peace
forward.
Of mind. Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, we've seen, Bitcoin. Kind of the Coca-Cola of
Right.
crypto kind of start to take a little bit of a slide, and who knows? People are getting scared. People are pulling their money out, and in turn, it's going to affect the that bottom dollar.
It's crazy. This is crazy. What else do I got here? Let me just move on real quick. I got another article. Yeah, and then this is just an article that popped up yesterday, and this was talking about Voyager, bankrupt crypto lender. Voyager reopens bidding for processes following FTX collapse. Yeah, right. It's not happening. Voyager also acknowledges Friday it has a $3 million balance currently locked up on FTX. It just gets worse for Voyager. FTX now is gone. It is over. OVA.
Scary. Just so many just like regular Joe Schmoes have money, tied in crypto. It's in the past stocks, which have always shown growth like year to year. We'd have our ups and downs, but the end game was always really good as long as you were investing in solid companies. And crypto is kind of the wave of the future. It had that little spike, maybe like 5-6 years ago, and then kind of teetered out, and then got super hot, like crazy hot when COVID hit. And people were investing. It was going up. It was gonna. Everyone thought, oh, it's going to 100K. It's going to 100K, and I only played with real light money in crypto, and kind of you would see trends and kind of pull out when I was a few bucks ahead, kind of thing. And right now, I don't have too much. I have a little bit in Bitcoin, like tiny money, like
Yeah.
nothing really to worry about. But
Right.
just to kind of play around, experiment, and seeing that once it was under 20K, it's like, maybe we're seeing the bottom, and it could rally back, but it's kind of it's trending downward, and who knows, and maybe it could rally this week, maybe it can crash this week. It's really anyone's guess. It's just kind of like uncharted territory, I think, with crypto.
Wow, it's way down. Wasn't it at like 35 or 40,000 at one point?
At
Let's
one point, I
see.
think it was like I think it was like mid 60s, to be honest. Like that was a while ago though, and yeah, like
Holy
it was
shite,
it was
it
consistently
was.
always over 20. Once it went creeped down under 20, it was kind of like, is this a sign of things to come? Is it going to bounce back? That's
Almost
when
a
I kind of
year.
threw a few bucks in, but
Yeah, almost a year ago to this date. Look at almost a year ago to this date, it was at 60,000. So
yeah,
within
unreal,
a
dude.
year, it lost it lost almost 40,000 of its value. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really, yeah. It's what direction is next? Is it going to go back down to 5 grand? Is it going to kind of creep back up to 20? It's anyone's guess.
I always laugh because Archie always said, crypto crap, crypto
Crypto
crap,
crap, crypto
crypto
crap,
crap.
100%. Yeah. It's one of those, it intrigues so many people, and it's funny too, because even once, like, people of the older generation start asking questions, being like, is this something I should kind of get on board? That's when it might be kind of the hype bus might be kind of coming, reaching a halt. So,
Right.
but you never know with these things. I mean, it could be the wave of the future, and our currency is going all digital, and Bitcoin is kind of
Well, I think that's going to
that
set things
leader.
back a little bit now with all this
Yeah, it
stuff that's
really
going
it
on.
is a step back. You know, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel as though with currency and investments, I do like knowing that I'm backing a tangible thing, or a
Right.
company, or something, whether it's a solid piece of gold, if it's a company that's been a performer and a staple in just everyday life. Like, those are kind of the things I kind of look at when it comes to long-term investments. But hey, throwing a few bucks, what you're comfortable with it at a crypto, yeah, it made a lot of sense, just because it's so super hot, and it's just so it's just different. It's just a different way of, it's like we're changing the dollar versus, like, you're taking your dollar and you're getting ownership of a company, or you're buying a product in return.
Mm-hmm. So Design is saying greetings from Aruba. He also said it will go up, and Bitcoin is still in the first thing that will be adopted and regulated. I believe that as well. And now,
Yeah.
this is the crazy thing about it. Now it's just for me, how I feel about government being in my business.
Hmm.
I think this now is just going to open the gateway for Congress, to start really stepping in and taking control of the Coinbase market, and having to have their hands and dabbling in it now. To regulate it and whatever going forward, to give some type of backing to it. And it's kind of scary because
Yeah.
this crypto was really kind of the last free market money
Sure.
out
Off,
there.
yeah, off the grid,
Right.
and that's, just having the government's hands and things. It's actually, it's going to discourage a lot of investors. People
100%.
like, just having crypto as kind of that standalone.
I mean, can you imagine how much money probably Elon Musk lost today? How much, Jeff Bezos, I'm sure that all those guys are invested in crypto. They lost
Oh,
money
sure.
today,
Oh,
you
sure,
know.
sure, sure. I know. I don't know how vested he is now, but I know Doge was a big thing for Elon Musk at one point. He was really kind of he was pushing the memes, and that really kind of drove that stock to a high level, in a pretty short time. But yeah, I mean, Elon's just he's a genius. He has his hands in a lot of different things right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah, Twitter one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitter. Yeah.
It's funny. I heard someone make a comment today to say that uh Twitter is Twitter is going to be either the biggest epic failure, or it's going to come out and be one of the biggest badass platforms ever.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, Elon's got a long road ahead of him to
Yeah.
really get all this squared up, and I hope it becomes a badass platform. I really do,
Yeah,
'cause
and it has
it's
that
cool.
potential. It
Yeah.
does. And just, I think he's really, I know you and we're big advocates of freedom of speech.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As long as you're, there's certain
Within
things you don't
reason, right.
cross within reason, right?
Right.
But I think as long as a platform is used, in that manner, in a respectful manner, and we're not kind of crossing those lines of decency, freedom of speech is very important. It's one of our rights as Americans, and I think if Twitter is allowing for more of that, it's great. And I think we kind of need to respect boundaries. Of course, we don't want to incite riots and say horrific things about certain people and ethnic groups, of course. But yeah, I mean, freedom of speech is huge.
1000%. Perth Luxury says your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8. Hey Perth, how are you, man? The link is at the top if you want to jump on real quick and jump in the chat with us. We'd love to have you on. Or if any design, if you want to jump on and chat with us, please do. The link is pinned to the top of the panel. Come on over. We'll talk about this. I'd love to hear your insight and your perspective. Design says the thing that crypto is not his equity. It's his personality. That's where he gets most of his cachet. And then Perth is saying best meme for a t-shirt. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I mean, it's just it's again, it's gonna really create, I think, a lot of uncertainty and unsecurity going forward for people really getting invested now in crypto. And I think you're gonna see a lot of people pull out if they can do that. I mean, FTX was alongside with Voyager was one of the two of the biggest probably apps that people were using. So I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not a crypto expert. I don't know what other major platforms out there were allowed. Can you trade crypto on Robinhood?
Robinhood, yes,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have Doge, obviously Bitcoin,
Sure.
Ethereum. Yeah, I in there, I'm sure there's many others.
Yeah. Design Atelier
Hello,
joining us.
Jason.
Hello, what's up?
What's going on, Jason? So how do you feel about this this FTX crash? It's pretty crazy.
Honestly, I don't. What's FTX? I just saw the Bitcoin thing, and then I was
sure. So FTX is a huge worldwide trading platform, and basically the CEO I guess went bankrupt today, and they had a hack yesterday of about $600 million.
Okay. Okay. So that was connected to that. Oh, okay. I saw that in the news. Yeah.
So you were saying if you want to, talk about your comments about Bitcoin, you were saying that it was, one of the ones that would be probably adopted and regulated first. How do you feel about that? What makes you speculate that?
No, it's really not speculative anymore because we've had so many big companies that are adopting Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin, Ethereum. These are like the two leading cryptocurrencies right now that's being adopted by big companies, banks.
Oh, did I lose him? Did I lose everybody?
I can hear you, Brian.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I was hearing you.
Oh,
yeah.
Jason, too as well. I think he's a little wonky, but coming back.
I get you, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think that's just the thing. I truly believe in what you're saying, but I think the scary thing is these trading platforms now, when you invest your money and you want Bitcoin, it's so volatile now. You don't know what is going to be the next platform that goes bankrupt.
Well, the thing is, like maybe Basil's also knows about this. The volatility comes from the speculative nature of the cryptocurrency, not the platform itself. The problem with the platform is that it's run by people that are not regulated.
Right.
Once the government steps in and either builds their own platform or regulates a platform, then that becomes like the Wall Street of cryptocurrencies. That's where it's supposed to go. I mean, that's the only thing that I could see it happening at the moment, despite what people may be saying. Because, I mean, of course, we can't say the future completely, but this is what's happening now. Like so many people, so many companies, so many banks are already adopting Bitcoin and
That's
Ethereum.
true.
There's so
Yeah.
much investment in there. They see so much potential in there and money, and there's trading happening already. We've
Yeah.
seen like watch markets, cars being traded for Bitcoin, real estate being traded for Bitcoin.
Mhm.
There's a lot
Sorry.
of not equity. What do you call it? Well, a lot of assets
Yeah.
are there on the air. This things that's happening, like the crash of FTX hacks and all that, that's actually scarily common with all of these platforms because it's inherently an electronic thing. It's run by scripts and algorithms that people can hack.
Mhm.
That's the problem with it. I mean, you see what happened with Enron. That's also like a sort of a thing until
Right.
like finally someone whistleblowed or finally someone regulated it or actually checked it. And that's where we're going with this. At least that's what I think. I'm not an expert, but I'm
Sure.
just like seeing all of these patterns is basically the same thing. But you know how things are going. If a government continues to print money, it just lowers the value of their currency,
Mhm.
and that's the inherent flaw that Bitcoin wanted to abolish in the first place. That there is a finite amount of Bitcoin.
Mhm.
They're using the same mechanism as gold. There's only a finite amount of gold in the world, so that's why gold remains high despite of any inflation and whatnot.
Do you think that this can ever be a safe platform? I mean, you said it's it's algorithm that's running it. There's so many professional, beyond professional hackers nowadays. Do you think this ever could be safe enough and regulated enough to keep out hackers? I mean, it just seems like every time we turn around, something's getting hacked on one of these platforms, and they're losing, billions, millions, if not billions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many smart people out there. There's going to
Mm.
be someone bound to find cracks in the armor,
Mhm.
and they're going to be able to hack any of these platforms. I mean, even Wall Street. That's not like using crypto yet. They're moving assets like they also got these same problems, although it's relatively few and far in between.
Mhm.
The thing
Yeah.
is like what I'm thinking is I'm still waiting to see is for someone to actually crack the Bitcoin code because
Mm.
that's what I'm waiting for because so far nobody's able to crack it yet, and so far nobody's able to actually like manipulate it. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this is going to be like at the very least like last a few decades. I mean, it's been here for 2 decades now, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, about 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So far nobody's cracked the code. So
Well, you would think though, if you're one of these platforms, those are probably the guys you would be wanting to call
no,
and talk
these
to.
platforms are just vessels.
Crack a
These
Mac,
platforms
right?
are just
Yeah.
vessels. They're
Yeah.
just trading grounds, and like when one of the owners, the programmers of the platform is like tries to be like undercover criminal, then you're still under the mercy of that programmer. The thing is like with Bitcoin, the whoever created Bitcoin, Satoshi, whoever it may be, I mean, he surrendered all of that to the code,
Mhm.
and nobody knows how to crack it. And so long as that's still authenticated by all of the holders of Bitcoin, that's a pretty solid safe. And until that's cracked, I have my faith that this is going to be still the main cryptocurrency that people are going to be trading with because I mean it's so popular now. It's too big, not too
Right.
big to fail. It's just that of course, inflation and then like speculative market and the fluctuations in the value that will come
Sure.
and go. I mean, just what a few months ago it went down to as low as how much? 5,000 was it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, within a year, we're just pulling the chart up. Within a year, it dropped 47. It's almost a year to this date.
mhm.
A year to this date, it dropped, a year ago. It's dropped $47,000.
Yeah, that's good.
73%.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same as the watch market too. It's just maybe probably like correcting itself. Like, well, yeah, of course, that big hack that happened, that plays a lot with it, you know.
Yeah, and this is definitely, I mean, how do you guys feel about this now affecting the watch market? Do you think that you'll start seeing some prices maybe over the next couple of weeks or months, readjusting? Because, obviously, I think crypto was, during the pandemic, was a huge driver of the prices that we were seeing on the watch market. And now, seeing this huge crash, people not having that expendable money or that expendable luxury money to spend, we may see some readjustment here in the watch market. How do you guys feel about that?
My take is I could see that's the thing. That's where it gets complicated. So a lot of buyers of, out like my first thought is like, well, I could see it affecting like the very high end watches, you know, uh when you get those bigger price points, the uber rich, I think, are staying rich,
Yeah.
but those that are heavily
Usually that
invested,
happens.
yeah, yeah. But the ones that obviously are heavily invested in crypto, and not to like stereotype or kind
Sure.
of say a certain type, but it tends to be a younger generation.
Yep.
Younger generations, they're probably pieces from like Richard Mill, just like the more like the hypey, trendier pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I could see those like high end pieces maybe not really blowing off the shelves at crazy prices. I could see them kind of cooling off a little bit. But like the classic, the buyer that's, affluent, maybe they come from old money, and then maybe just from an older generation. Those pieces, the wealthy are still able to afford in a lot. And I think I don't see the price like skyrocketing, but I also don't see it completely crashing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really anyone's guess, long term.
Mm-hmm. Jason, before I get your point real quick, I just want to remind everybody, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter this evening. And once I get enough subs over on Rumble, we will be live on Rumble as well. And if you guys want to go over, you can check me out on all of those platforms. The link is down in the description. You can join that, where I'm on IG as well.
How can you keep up?
I'm telling you, I'm rededicating myself to the channel. I'm trying to stream a lot more and just get some activity back on the channel. And I do appreciate both you guys this evening joining on the panel. This has been a really fantastic discussion so far. So, Jason, how do you feel about prices in the watch market? Do you think we see a drop now with this with crypto, this kind of crypto crash?
Yeah, we've been seeing. Well, not necessarily maybe with the crypto crash. I mean, I've been monitoring the cryptocurrencies because I actually wanted to buy in again. I used to have.
Just don't buy on FTX or Voyager, and you'll be all right.
Bad platforms.
The thing is, like, I used to have crypto, but then I bailed out right around when it's like $2,000.
Yeah.
Just a couple of years ago, I bought like a couple of Tezos, and
sure.
And now I've sold those Tezos. It's now not here in my collection anymore, and I was like regretting that. But maybe I would have been, maybe a day just richer here now. But anyway, regrets. But I think like with such a big chunk of the crypto like gone, or like the whole value of the BTC like going down significantly, that's going to affect, but momentarily for the watch market, because already the watch market is already on a decline, even before this hack. Everybody's like saying, every YouTuber out there has been speculating, the Rolex prices are going down, etc. Mm-hmm. One, I believe that it was because of COVID and the inexplicable and like unsustainable rise of the haute horology pieces, the Richard Milles, the APs, and the Pateks. Their values, when they shot up, that's unsustainable and unreasonable.
Yeah.
So there's
100%.
bound to be a correction. But the people reporting or making these videos like crashing, it's not a crash. A crash
Not a
should be like a
correction.
depreciation from the perceived normal value of anything. That's a crash.
Right.
It's not a crash. It's just correcting itself. And you pull out the graph. If you pull out the graph of the BTC, I mean, there's a normalizing line out there. Like right now, where even this graph, like it's between 16.8 to 820 to 16.840. Like that's it's still like, if you look at that span of time, that's still a relatively flatlined trajectory. It's
Right.
just normalizing. That's the watch market. And the thing is, like, right now I believe that Rolex supply is going up. The thing is, like, even I got a call from the AD.
Really?
Even I got a call from the
Really?
AD. I was gonna make a video about that next week. So this is like maybe some sort of like super exclusive Watch Talk Live info. I got a call from the AD, and
Well,
I have
congratulations.
well, I had to turn it down because I have no money to buy that.
Got it. Yeah.
But anyway,
Jason, are you
I got
able
a
to
call.
disclose the piece you get a call on, or are you kind of keeping it for a later
Oh no,
discovery?
I don't mind. Like, it's a steel date just on a blue dial.
Okay. Yeah.
Blue
It's
dial,
a-
yeah, no,
it's-
that's a hot
that's
And it's a
dial. Yeah,
jubilee. It's a jubilee on a
nice.
fluted.
that's a
Yeah.
beautiful watch.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fluted jubilee.
That's how I would have it.
yep.
I don't know if it's Roman though. But anyway, I turned
Roman
it down
or
because
stick is fine. Yeah, no, both of those are sharp.
yeah. Oh my god. And the thing is, like, yeah, at the AD it's like 11K. And right now, what's the trading value or the changing value is like what, 13. So I'm not really like, I'm not profiting a
Would
lot.
be a safe buy if it was the right time to buy it. But
Yeah,
if it's not the right
yeah.
time to buy, you pass. It's not,
Right.
not it's that's the thing.
Yeah.
Opportunities will come. I think more and more will actually come. To be fair, in probably the spring. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, and if I really wanted to like go for that, I mean, I may have like if I really tried hard, I could, but that's not a reasonable move for me, and my wife's gonna kill me and maybe like file for divorce if that happens.
You can't enjoy it if you're not alive, right?
No,
Right.
so it's I think it's a smart move to pass out, to pass from
100%.
that deal, But the thing is, like, I got caught.
Hmm.
I don't have a purchase history from that dealer, except for that one sub that was like back in 2015.
Wow.
So,
Sure.
so what's the deal now? The thing is, like, I've been hearing also some reports. Okay, it's starting to people are starting to get calls, and I also in our WhatsApp group, I've been seeing the trending down of the prices of these in auction, and these are like unworn stickered models. I saw a Daytona. How much is it? I think it was like for 25. Was it? No, not. I think not the Daytona. In one of the WhatsApp groups. But anyway,
Wow.
Prices are getting kind of reasonable almost.
Yeah, kind of reasonable.
Crazy.
It's just a couple of $1,000 over
that retail, right? Yeah, I mean, it's you'll reach it reaching a little bit for those really hard to get pieces starts to make sense. When the price is right.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, people are to me the telling sign is that people are starting to get the calls. Even I got a call.
Actually,
And,
Jason, may I ask, were you on the list specifically for that Datejust or a Datejust in general, or was it just kind of on a whim that they reached out and you were maybe waiting for another watch?
I'm in no list at all. So
they were just kind of cold calling in a way.
yeah, I mean,
wow.
again, my only purchase history from that AD is back in 2015.
That's long. I just assumed maybe you checked in, within like the last year and you expressed interest maybe in another like 40 millimeter
Well,
watch
I
or
always check. I
specifically a
always
date
check
dress.
in and like window
Yeah,
shop,
you're
but there's
friendly and
nothing on. I mean, maybe someone out there like, oh, you like that? Okay, maybe they put me in the list. I don't know, but I
somehow
didn't.
kind of snuck you in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that.
Backlist, yeah.
I'll give them
But
that.
yeah,
But
that's
it's
not usually you have to have a good conversation, express interest, and that's how
well,
you get a call. You usually don't
yeah.
get a oh, I know you're waiting for a Milgauss, but would you like a date just? But to actually not be on the list and them to actually take the time to reach out for a piece that's actually a somewhat desirable with that nice blue dial is pretty surprising. I could see if it was like a 36 or
Yeah.
smaller or something, but yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's a 41, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's
I
hot.
think it's a 41. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
a desirable size.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I'm just window shopping all the time, and the only thing
Yeah.
that I've got going for myself is that they probably know that I'm a local.
Uh-huh.
That's the only
Right.
thing
Yeah.
that I could think of.
And you
Aside
could
from
get right
that,
in and grab it if it was the right move.
yeah, and actually, that's what exactly what the AD said. Look, we have this piece. If you're interested in it, you can hop on for the next 30 minutes, because in the next 30 minutes we're about to put it on the display case,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not really allowed to hold it, but they're calling me for some reason.
Wow.
Okay, okay. So I said okay, I'll try, but I never went there.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, because then I mean, like, where am I gonna get like $10,000?
Yeah.
Sure.
Unless,
Basil.
unless Brian can like wire me like $10,000.
Yeah.
I'm-
Right.
But by the
I-
time I think it's gone. I mean, that's like what, a week ago.
well, if I get my money back out of Voyager, I'll wire that money over to you, Jason. But that's not going to happen.
I'll send you some bitcoins.
Yeah, you're right. So I don't know if you knew this, and I don't know if you caught the show a little earlier, but so when Voyager app collapsed, they had an auction, and guess who the platform that bought it was FTX,
Oh,
and now
wow.
FTX is bankrupt. So my money's gone. It's in the ether. I'm never gonna get it.
Musical bankruptcies, basically.
You're right. So Bezos,
Like
you
that.
added some watches recently to your collection. I know it's changed quite a bit. What is in your collection now?
Yeah, so my collection, it's kind of changed. I've parted ways with a few pieces. But the base of my collection, it's probably since I've been kind of hopping on the streams. I've been
Mhm.
posting a little bit here and there on Instagram. I have a 39 millimeter Explorer.
Okay.
I kind of picked up pre-owned from a local guy. Great interaction. He was actually part of a one of the local Facebook groups. He
Sure.
listed it as something he was willing to part with and at a decent price, and
Mhm.
grabbed it. Actually met him at an AD, and they gave it a once over. Everything
Nice.
checked out, and I was good to go.
Did you get box and papers with it, or?
Box papers, the hang tag,
Oh,
the outer
nice.
box unit, yeah, all the works. Yeah, he had every little bit and piece with it, so it was pretty awesome.
Sweet.
Three of my most recent pieces, I needed some blue pieces in my collection, so I actually went with um a Panerai submersible.
Okay.
So a real cool just diver, just something
Yep.
different. It's a 42 millimeter, which I feel is a great size.
Yep.
I know a lot of the Panerais are very large.
Yeah,
This
they're huge.
42 is just right for somebody like myself with is slightly sub 7-inch wrist. And bless you.
Thank
I
you.
also went with a Cartier Santos.
Yeah.
I went with a large. It's a nice blue dial and bezel, and it has the two straps. It has a nice rubber, and I have also a stainless steel strap with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that piece, and then my most recent piece is actually something that is from a smaller manufacturer that a lot of us kind of giggle at the name, Parmigiani Fiorier.
Oh wow.
I picked up a Tundra, Tanda. It was the 1951. So it's a 39 millimeter. It's actually white gold with a diamond bezel. And it
Nice.
was like crazy inexpensive that I was convinced that it was some sort of a pricing error, that I was receiving an offer
Sure.
on my eBay watch list.
Wow.
And saw the price. I didn't hesitate. Accepted the offer. It was sent for authenticity and passed and came my way, and it was literally wrapped in airtight in a seal. The warranty card was dated the day I bought it, and it was a fun piece. I actually wore it to New York to
Are
the big
you
watch show.
are you
Cool.
referring to the eBay authenticity thing?
Yes, I am.
How is that? How is that? How's your experience with that? Is it like
You
really
know,
worth it?
I would say it's one of those things where it's just a set of eyes as far as the depth of their diving into the authenticity. Are they opening up case backs and giving the movement a quick once over? Are they, just kind of, just handling the watch, with the, making sure dials are moving correctly and or bezels rather moving correctly and, crowns and all that kind of stuff. And people that the groups that they work with seem okay. I know there's been kind of some of the YouTubers have kind of given some pushback against it. For me, I always buy the seller to a certain degree. Granted, it is online. I'm not actually connecting with them in the flesh. But feedback I think speaks for itself. Also, when I bought on eBay, like I've even gone the extra mile where if it's a piece that has a local AD, I'll even kind of take it in and have them. I had a Omega that I recently bought and had a local dealer that was Omega certified actually look at it, and he gave it a good review on his end. So I think it's like you kind of take it as not maybe so much the end all be all, but as a second set of eyes. And if you really are still on the fence, I would go the extra mile and look locally. But at the same time, if it's something you're not paying for and it's really only extending your delivery maybe 2 or 3 days,
Sure.
I'll take it. Why not?
I'll give you.
That's
Can I
cool.
tell you a quick story about my eBay authenticity experience?
Mhm.
So I recently over the last couple of months I've been kind of flipping shoes,
Yeah.
and this is crazy. I was having a problem with a pair of shoes that I would sell. They go out to the authenticator. They would authenticate them and they would send them back. I'm like, what the hell? It was like the third time. So I called eBay. Actually, what did I do? Did I call? Yes, I called eBay.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was going to get anybody on the phone. I get a customer service rep on the phone, and they're looking at my account. Oh yes, Mr. Mr. B, we'll look at your account, and oh yeah, we see this, yeah, and I'm explaining this. Well, I can't understand why these shoes keep getting sent back. Is it something in the listing? Is it something that I said? And she was like, no, everything looks normal. And this, she's, hang on 1 second. Let me just put you on hold for a second. I'm gonna try to reach out to the authenticator. So, yeah, okay, well, we'll see.
Mhm.
So I waited 3 to 5 minutes, comes back on the line, puts me into the third party call with the actual authenticator. I actually
Wow.
got to talk to an eBay authenticator. Guy
What
was
the hell,
super,
man?
yeah, man, super cool. Guy
Yeah.
was super cool. Was out in the Las Vegas area. We're just riffing for like a half an hour, and I said, well, tell me about what you do, and well, we see thousands of items a day, and I have a big facility, and this and that. And he said, I'll tell you the reason why. He said, let's go to your description. I said, okay. He said, look at your title, brand new in box. I said, okay. And he said, but look at the subline where it says new, used, whatever. He says, you got it, and it says used. That's why we had to send them back, because you're saying brand new, but they're not brand new, they're used. And
Okay.
he said that's a lot of the time why things will get sent back. So he said a little advice, a little hint of advice, really look through your descriptions when you have anything that goes to the authenticator, because they will just turn it around and they look at all that stuff. And I said, that's a
Okay.
great thing to know, because I'm sure those little
Of course.
details people don't know, and that's why things keep getting sent back. But he was
Brian,
a really cool guy. Yeah.
were the shoes were they actually brand new and you were saying they were used, or were they
Well,
used and you were kind of saying they were brand new?
No. So what happened was I bought them. They were half size too big, and I
Mhm.
said only tried on once. And I said brand new, and he said, "How can they be brand new if you tried them on once?" I said,
Oh,
"Well,
dead stock.
I
Right.
didn't leave."
Yeah.
And he's
Got
like,
it.
"Nope, but that's what we have to go." And it's a pretty good, I would say that's a pretty good honor system on their
Mhm.
part, where they really, really look at all of the information that they're getting before they actually authenticate something. So I have to say, as frustrating as it is, as a buyer or a consumer, those small details, I get it. And it, listen, it could be a coin flip of decision,
Mhm.
but I think, it's an honest decision. And I understood it once I said, oh, okay. And I literally changed. I was like, I wasn't worried. I changed the description. 24 hours later, I sold them and they're gone.
Never
So.
came back, right?
You know what
So
happened
true.
there? If he's saying that he has a big facility,
Sure.
it's probably like just one big spreadsheet with
Yeah.
filters on.
Yep.
And you probably got marked, okay, this doesn't match the
Probably.
unworn or the brand new thing.
And they just turn it right back
They
around.
just turn around. Hey,
Yeah.
these numbers, these serials, you just send them. That's it. They
And they
didn't
got-
only-
look at it.
If
It was-
only the actual auction was flagged before you actually hit the button, like,
Right.
you're and then to go all that trouble and and spend all that money to mail them out, like, well, why can't you just catch the listing
Right.
kind of faux pas and just kind of negate the listing, and then I can correct the listing on that end, versus like going to all the trouble, send them out.
Sure.
The shoes are in great shape, but
Yeah.
yet
Right.
the other thing, just to add to what you were saying, Ryan, the other little story I've heard is if boxes are not also in brand new condition,
Mm-hmm.
they will decline the item being quote unquote new. So your shoes could be completely dead stock, not touched, but let's say
The box is screwed up.
the guy
Yeah.
at Foot Locker was a little rough with opening up the
Right.
box, and and it got damaged to a certain degree. In turn, I was like kind of what you're saying is kind of stay with the side of caution and just kind of maybe go with used, but yet maybe explain yourself within the description,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're not over promising in the description, so to speak. They want you to maybe kind of tone it down and then talk it up maybe in the description itself.
And I would say like the guy, it seemed like he's probably a little bit of an older guy, but he was
Sure.
like, he goes, I have to say, he goes, out of all the customer complaints that we have ever had and the customers that I've talked to, he was like, you've been one of the most reasonable people that I've ever talked to. Because usually he's like, sometimes I have to get on the phone and it turns into an argument. And he's like, you were just so reasonable about it. He's like, I told him, and you were just like, all right, I can kind of see where you're at now. So,
well, with your background, plus you're not a kid. I mean, he's probably used to
Yeah.
dealing with these, just out of high school or in high school, kind of bratty,
Sure.
like shoe flippers, like blah, 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 and give him a hard time, and you're just a cool, chill dude that is reasonable.
These Twitter employees.
Yeah, these Twitter employees.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look up because as far as my online account for eBay, I think I mean, whenever they went online, which would be like 96, 97, I have that same still account. I've been selling on
That's
that
awesome.
account. Yeah.
I've been doing it since I think 2000 maybe.
Yeah, so you're an
2001
OG
myself.
too.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
early adopter. I just kind of saw the potential of, you're telling me I can market these products, these deals that I find, to anybody in America.
Mhm.
Like, that's incredible. Like, a lot of times I would see this, oh, if they only had my size, this is a
I know.
steal, and I could grab that and take a little time and throw it online, and also give somebody else in turn probably a pretty good deal,
Yeah.
or get them a product that they've been trying to search and find, and getting into a great home. It's really kind of a neat community in itself, and it's it's just kind of been a big part of my life for a very long time. I don't
Yeah.
talk about it a ton, but it's
Sure.
something that I like to use, and fees, and some little like hiccups haven't gone my way, but
Mhm.
I've always kind of stayed with it, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have an excellent selling record on eBay. I mean, I've sold stuff on there for years, and I think I've only had maybe 2 or 3 transactions that kind of went sour, but it all ultimately ended up getting worked out. You know, you're not going to have an absolutely 100% flawless record. Someone's going to find something about
Oh, of
something, argue
course.
about something. But you know,
But everything's in your control.
yeah, as far as using the platform, and it's always been pretty user friendly, and I've had multiple transactions on there. So
For sure. For sure.
you know, it's funny saying, you were saying early 2000s. I mean, that's really when that platform was really booming. And I remember, just a quick story. I remember
Yeah.
I was working a little part-time job at a pop-up. Champ Sports had a little pop-up in one of the local malls here, and I was working there as a part-time job to supplement some income at the time. And these 2 kids that were like 18 or 19 years old, they used to come in every Friday with like 2 to 5 grand cash, and they were
Wow.
buying shoes like just off, you know, anything like big sizes, like sizes that people are just almost impossible to get.
Okay.
And I ended up becoming, you know, befriending them, coming into the store and talking to them. I mean, it's early 2000s. You gotta figure
Sure.
18, 19-year-old kids, and they said they were making 100 grand a year selling sneakers on eBay. And they had a huge, you know, like U-Haul place, and
Wow.
it had you know, baker's racks in there of just shoes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, can you imagine being 18 or 19 years old? You're in there with a partner back in early 2000s, 50 grand each. That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, back
And
then, that's the and being just way ahead of the trend, you know, and
yeah.
capitalizing. Yeah, no, that's pretty impressive. You know, imagine how many stores they must have hit up.
Oh yeah. I mean, they were just buying all over the place.
Yeah,
I
they
can
had to make that kind of money. They,
yeah.
I'm sure they were all over all over town.
But they were ahead of the curve, you know, like
Oh, for sure.
they
And
were
how?
way ahead of the curve to think of this. Like, let's get sizes that are not accessible to people, you know, size whatever, 10 and up, you know, and you know, like it's hard to get what size 12, 13, 14 and up.
Yeah, once you start getting above 13, those 14, 15s especially, it's not like a readily available size.
Mm,
But a lot of times too, like if you go to places like the outlets, they'll be
sure.
like you can get a deep discount on those
Oh yeah.
larger sizes just because a lot of people don't fit into them.
Right.
So, you know, taking that into kind of consideration and then turning around and marketing online and getting like retail plus, like
Yeah.
there's definitely, you know, if you have the energy, there's, you know, it's funny nowadays is like a lot of these resellers also have a big YouTube presence, you know, and they
Yeah.
kind of they document their visits to local outlets and also like, you know, the discount stores like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and
Sure.
like.
Yeah.
I would have made a business out of that if I was in the United States, you know.
Selling shoes?
Well, anything,
Yeah.
because I mean, I actually explored that Amazon arbitrage. I would
Yep.
like ask my buddy, hey, go to Home Depot, buy like a whole pallet of this, and then sell it to Amazon. The whole problem is that I don't have a US account, so I have to like give him a cut. So it's like, you know.
It takes
Yeah.
away from your bottom line. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
can see
so
that
it's,
being tricky.
But if I was there, I would like the possibilities are like, it would have been awesome. But yeah, that's the drawbacks of living in a small island.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
the bottom line is
Limited,
shipping
yeah,
and
sure.
receiving is just so expensive.
But hey, I'm sure a lot of us would trade places with you to live in beauty like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You guys are saying that, but I mean, it once you're here, after a few months, it's really boring. It's really boring. It's all
So
like
relaxing,
cactus
you kind of
and
just
sand.
mellow out, and you need some more excitement.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, everything is expensive too. Like the taxation
Oh,
here
I'm
is
sure.
crazy. It's crazy.
Now, is there off season and on season with tourists there, or is
Yeah.
it just constant?
Yeah, there's an off season.
And when does
Definitely,
that tend to ramp up and slow down?
like around like July to September. Those are like the really slow season.
Wow. Yeah.
But once September hits, okay, we're alive. We're alive.
Did you guys get socked out pretty good with COVID? You weren't seeing a lot of people come over, or were people
Yeah.
still traveling? Yeah, it was
That
slow.
was like the big thing because our government here
Mhm.
had to go to the Netherlands for a big loan, and they're still paying that off for the next, I think, 5 years because
Wow.
it really took a big hit.
Such
Because
a hit,
the-
yeah.
We only experienced this twice. One is when in 9/11
Mm-hmm.
when that happened.
People were
It took
afraid to
us
fly,
like
yeah.
a year and a half to recover. But then COVID hit, and that's like the worst part. And everybody's the thing is like Aruba's pretty dense island, a small
Yeah.
island, but pretty dense for its size because of the tourism, compared to our sister island, Curacao, which is twice as big but half the amount of people in it.
Mhm.
Because we're really reliant on tourists, and most of the people here, like, they work on the hotels.
Yeah,
And
it
when
is
the
the
hotels are
economy.
closed, there's no business then. And compound that with the rising prices of shipping costs and
Fuel, all that
fuel,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
anything. It's like, yeah, that's a big problem here. We've been recovering in the past year, so hopefully that will just go back to normality. At least I didn't lose my job, and then so many people lost their jobs.
Right.
Are
Just
you
like
are you
that.
are you on the metric system there?
Yeah,
Oh,
metric,
okay.
yes. Mhm.
So your gasoline is in liters, correct? Or are you in gallons?
Yeah, liters,
liters.
yeah.
What's a liter of gas over there right now?
Ooh, don't ask me because my wife's the only one that like gasses up. So
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
so you know how the dichotomy of the family here. So,
Yes.
I know that, like, filling up my car is like $50.
Okay.
$50.
US.
US, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's not too
And
bad.
I have a small Civic,
I was
small
gonna say
Civic
that's not
hybrid.
bad at all because I pay probably 100 to fill my 328, my BMW 328, and I think that has either a 16 or 18 gallon tank, and it's over 100 right now because I've used premium.
That's a 6-cylinder, right?
Yeah, it's oh no, it's a 4-cylinder
Oh,
twin scroll turbo.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
35 and
Yeah,
340
you'll
on
get
the
it.
6, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a hybrid.
I
so-
had a 130. I had a 135 that had twin turbo 6-cylinder in it,
Yeah.
but I sold that.
Same here. I actually had a 135 as well.
Did
Few years
you?
back. Yeah, I sure
Yeah.
did. I'll show you some pictures sometime.
Yeah, I'll love to see it. I just bought I
Definitely.
don't know if you guys know, I just bought a 1963 Nova, Chevy Nova that I'm
Hell
restoring
yeah,
right
I
now.
definitely.
The one that you
I've
hauled, like
What's that,
been
Jay?
giving that car some
the
likes.
one that you hauled,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gray one, or gray or
It's black. Yeah, it's
black?
black.
Yeah, black. So
Yeah, it's
Kind of
in
like
black.
like that matte kind of black
Yeah. We're gonna make it kind of like a rat rod, that
Yeah.
kind of look to it. But
That's gonna look sweet.
yeah, I'm very, very excited. I think my friend Dennis that has a 78 Nova is even more excited than I am right now.
It's
And
good to have that influence, man.
yeah, and we're gonna do a lot of stuff this spring and summer and
That's awesome.
coming up with that. Jason, if I could, let me ask you about Watch-Hedz. What's currently going on with your brand?
Yeah, actually, we have an Instagram now, but I didn't share it yet. I'm still
Okay.
working on it. I'm still trying to fill all of the current offerings that we have. So at
Sure.
least, you could
Cool.
see it in the Instagram. I just finished the reel, so hopefully that's going to be done in the next few weeks. We're still aiming for a holiday season launch, so to, like, get that get the crowds start like buying into our NFTs. And yeah, the thing is, like, we're not just offering NFTs, we're offering custom art pieces also. So hopefully in time we'll be able to release the pricing, and so you're not really just buying serial codes or the NFT serials. You're really like owning a piece. You're
Sure.
getting
Yeah.
a big frame with the art itself, and
Nice.
it has a custom certification also from me, showing all of the details of the specific art. Because I put a lot of Easter eggs there and little hidden like facts and whatnot. So the owners that actually buy the piece, they have access to this, and it's also like the actual certification coming from us. And hopefully, yeah, some merchandise are also like in the plans, but we're focusing on the NFT, and hopefully before around December we'll be able to, or maybe even like late November, if we can pull everything up. We already got like the legal stuff done. We got the
That's
banking
awesome.
side already set. We just need to hear from OpenSea.
Sure.
to get things rolling. I already have like all of the art like done for months ago. So
Oh, great.
all I
Excellent.
need is like to upload everything, and then like for those who want like some custom stuff, they just like email us. I already have everything emailed. Just the website needs to be done, and Instagram's already done. They just need to upload the stuff, and yeah, hopefully you'll hear some more of the Watch-Hedz.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's such a great concept. Like just marrying watches that we love with like I love sports,
Like
but
pop art,
sports and
yeah.
like pop culture and
Yeah.
just like iconic,
Yeah, I mean,
characters and stuff. It's just such a cool like concept that I think it's amazing.
I'm having a ton of fun because the thing is like I think Brian knows about it. Like I have a comic book background, so
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh
that's
no, I
like
watched that episode as well. No, it's really cool,
it's
how you've grown as a creator and and kind of come up with this new endeavor.
yeah. I just couldn't imagine that I'll be able to use that skill again. I mean, I thought like I abandoned like drawing, but then okay, fine. Like now I could use it and how
Those things
now
you
it's
keep them in the parking lot and here they are, when you need them.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean like that's the good thing about it is like yeah, it's a little bit more like now in the pop culture media, like what you said, yeah, it's a little bit more accessible than just watches, and hopefully it'll like get some head of steam. If not, like we're still like find other stuff. I'm keeping it like real. I don't know how far it will go, but the foundation is there and the funding is there, so we all need to just like grind it out, and hopefully
with
it'll
it.
like
I think I'm going to be honest with you, Jay. I think it's going to be widely successful, and I think it's going to open a lot of doors for you.
yeah.
I really do.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
And
We just need the connections, I mean, like
it'll
we'll get
happen.
there hopefully.
Yeah, it'll happen. I think that once this starts getting around and getting out there in the public, I mean, just seeing what you create, I mean, that could turn into I don't know, drawing for a series on whatever Comedy Channel or something. I hope something really great comes out of it. And I think it will. I think it's going to really take off.
My dream is an actual partnership with a really big watch brand.
Sure.
That's my dream.
Yeah.
I have a partnership already with a micro brand.
Mm-hmm.
That Indonesian micro brand that's still ongoing, and hopefully, yeah, they're still making my watch. So that's the thing.
Good
But
luck
a
with
big brand.
AP.
I want a big brand.
AP,
Excuse
I
me?
think, is going to love your concept that you came up with.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of the entries that were posted in Instagram. Some of them are actually like pretty good, but I don't know. Hopefully it gets picked, and that's an experience. If not, I mean, like it was fun. It was fun.
Taking like but you really kept in mind like the movements and like just the actual inner working parts of the watch when creating your pieces. So I think that's that could really put you over the top.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the idea, because they said there is a possibility to make it, so why not reverse engineer it for that? Like just make it as possible as possible work
right?
as possible. That double balance caliber is really amazing, and I mean I haven't seen it in person, but I watched a couple of videos how it works. It's amazing. I mean, like it's very simple, but that self-regulating ability of that double balance is just tremendous, and it looks really, really good.
I'm gonna pull that up for us so you can.
Yeah, please do.
Kind of take us through that.
I've kind of seen bits and pieces, but
so this is what we're
work.
talking about. Jay's design that he submitted to a AP contest, and I can't make it any larger, I don't think, so I apologize. But if you want to explain what you did here, Jay, that would be great.
Yeah. So basically, the whole concept is really just an open work AP, but we made use of more artisan skills and craft here. Like we've seen this in some of the really high end G-Shocks, that they actually hand hammer those textures. They call it the Suiki hammer tone pattern, and that's like carefully crafted pattern that actually only a few shops in Japan are doing that now, but they're still making it, you know. And then the Suratsu finish on the bracelet. We've never seen a fully polished mirror polished AP bracelet.
Yeah.
At least not to my knowledge. So this could be an opportunity for that. But at the same time, that Suratsu finish, we know what the Suratsu finish brings to a metal. It's really, really dark shadows on
Yeah.
certain angles. So when you put that on the AP bracelet, it would really create some really dark contrast against that hammer tone finish. And actually, there's another image of that, like the third slide. I don't know if you could like pull that up. That shows all of the other, that the
So
back.
here's
Cool.
oh wow.
Yeah, and you know, actually, I didn't mention it there. What inspired me to do this is the Vacheron peripheral rotor.
Hmm.
You know, there's I
That's-
don't remember the
The
movie.
dragon is cool. That's just that's so cool.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do this for my own watch. And,
That's so cool.
Yeah, well, you know what? And maybe it will become my signature or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a dragon. It's
Sure.
It's a fake, not fake, a faux. It's the same thing. It's a faux peripheral rotor effect because the peripheral rotor from Vacheron Constantin, that's the real deal. The earrings are like on the edges of the movement, you know. And this is kind of like faking that with the sapphire crystal. I actually like approached one of the micro brands if they could do that, and they sent me a sample. They said yes, we can.
Wow.
If you drop $9,000 and we can give you like those 3 prototypes. But yeah, hopefully that'll come through in the near future. But this is like the idea for that. And at the same time,
I was gonna say I love the eye of wisdom. That's really great in the dragon's eye.
I'm just making that up. I mean,
it's cool though. It's cool. No, man, it's cool.
Run with it.
Run with it.
I just wanted to call something like, you know. I mean, like I mean, if it couldn't be like a thirst for power or something like that. It's kind of weird. So, but that's like a hint of the dial, because the dial is actually 3 sapphire discs that's rotating like for the hours, minutes, and the second hand, you know. And it's kind of like what JLC and Cartier does.
Yeah.
They have like these mystery dials. So it would make it appear that those hands, those gold applied hands are floating over this blue sea underneath the blue sapphire crystal dial, you know. And that's like that's referencing what's actually happening underneath. Like that red dot is like the eye, but you don't see what's that red dot like circling around the dial. It's actually a dragon at the back, you know. So,
I love it.
So that's the idea. So that's why even the movement is blued at the back, so that it's referencing the sea, the blue dial in front.
And as you were talking about the texture that you were adding to the bracelet, that kind of replicates like almost dragon skin too, which is really cool. Yeah,
that's
like a lizard or a dragon skin, which is so badass.
So it's kind of like a golden dragon on your wrist.
I love it.
And it showcases like the AP caliber like really, really well, because it's a fume crystal with the fume clear part for the heart of the movement, and that move is just gorgeous.
When are they supposed to make a decision on that? Have you seen any of the other entries or?
Yeah, I've seen some of the entries. Some of them are like just, you know, some coupled up images here and there, like but some of them are really
kinda
well rendered.
These are great. These are just
I had this I hand painted, but I don't think that they're going to make a decision based on hand painting alone. They have to like see the overall design, and hopefully like you know that makes it at least you know to the top 3 and see. I wanted to fly to Switzerland, you know. It's an experience. An experience.
That's a huge
Oh,
experience.
100%. When are they supposed to make the decision on this?
On the 15th.
The
so
15th.
That's
3
that's in
days.
3 days.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
good
gonna
luck,
have a fingers
man.
crossed
I'm
for you.
terrified and excited.
I'm praying for you, man. You need to win, man.
Yeah, good vibes.
But even if I don't win, I'm just keeping it real. Even if I don't win, it was fun. It's disappointing, of course.
Yeah.
Because I made this to win. I painted this.
Of
to
course.
win. That's the.
Let me ask you, how long did it take you to put these slides together?
The slides are not really that hard to do. Because
So says the guy, right? right, Bezos? Like, I couldn't do this.
the thing is, like, I focused on. I actually started with the back. I
Mhm.
started with the back. That's the one that I did first, and then I was trying to figure out the dial. The dial was the one that took me the longest to do because
Yeah.
I was like thinking of so many different ideas. But then you know what? The simplest sometimes is the best.
Right.
So I ended up with that, and then I just the back was the first one that I really enjoyed because I enjoyed the lighting on those blued bridges and
Mhm.
those that's just I love that. I love that part. I was like having so much fun with that back part. Then everything else just came to place. Okay, you know what? Let's make the dial blue also because it's kind of like a dragon that's underneath the sea,
Right.
whatever, you know,
This is great.
whatever symbolism I could couple up with, you know.
Sure.
And to me, that really the big thing is the hammer tone finish because I've seen those in an actual G-Shock. It's just gorgeous, and to
Mm.
know that this is hand driven and hand hammered by a
Right.
person, it's not the same as any other unit out there because it's inherently unique.
Yeah.
It's just there's an appreciation for the artistry and the skill and of the craft, you know.
So
Yeah.
good.
That's
A machine, can never replace,
Right.
the
The
actual
human
Yeah.
hand. The human hand, right?
yeah, and that's what makes it unique. Whether it's like a watch or a pot, a teapot that's hand hammered, it's still a craftsman that did that, and it's never going to be the same as any other thing that he's done because that's
Right.
just how the human hand works.
Yeah.
That makes it unique.
If he's unique, yeah.
Well, that's why I like to, like even just use this concept too. Like, music, how music was recorded years ago before digital age. Everybody had to do it on tape. And, you have a rock band that plays, everything's not going to quite line
Yeah.
up. That's what made it great. And now everything is so digital and, synchropathic and it's just all in sync and it just sounds manufactured. A lot of the music just sounds
Exactly.
manufactured,
Yeah.
and that's why, a lot of people now, I mean, and it's funny. A lot of people don't believe this, but vinyl is still the top selling media over digital music because people are going back and getting those old albums and playing them and listening to how music really was back then. So
Sure.
this is cool, man.
Well, that's the thing. It's either like people aren't buying CDs, they're downloading things digitally. But
Yeah.
if you want an experience, you're
Yeah.
buying vinyl for that experience.
Yeah. All good stuff. All good stuff. Well, it's been about an hour and a half. I think I'm gonna cut the stream down here. It's getting a little late here on the East
All right, man.
Coast, and I do appreciate you gentlemen joining me this evening on the the episode of Let's Talk Live. I have dropped Basil's Bezels Instagram in the chat if you guys want to pick that up, and you also go over to Design Atelier's YouTube channel if you haven't gone over and check him out. Wish him luck on his AP venture, and I can't wait. Don't tell us if you get it. Make a video, surprise us, put it on the channel,
definitely.
and
You know that's gonna happen.
he probably already has it recorded.
No, not yet.
But if
you
you
don't want to
get
count those chickens before the
yeah, if you get chosen, I hope that they'll allow you to film something if you get to go over to
I
Switzerland.
was hoping
That'd be
for
great.
that. I was hoping
That'd
for
be
that.
cool.
At least that will boost the channel's notoriety a little bit. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
absolutely. All right, gentlemen, I do
right,
appreciate
guys.
everybody. We're going to hit the outro here, and we'll be back on, oh boy, am I going to be back? I'll be back on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Come over and join me. If you guys want to hang out, open chat now for everybody in the room. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Good
Bye,
night.
guys.
Bye, guys.